Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. I am your host, Mr. aka Jeffrey Mr. Right beside me is
Mrs. Mr., aka Dana Mr.
And together
we are the Misters.
Got a special episode today. I'm representing one of my favorite villains today, Negan off The Walking Dead. I got Lucille right here. Lucille with me. All right, who are you representing today? Who are you?
Representing Dana.
That could be scary. So, welcome to today. We're talking about taking the mask off of... Man, put your mask on.
Ooh, just got my hair done.
Wow. See that? That's how you be looking through them.
So we taking the mask off. So yeah.
Yep, taking the mask off today. Taking the mask off today.
We are discussing insecurity.
Yep. And so, before we get started, the theme song, I got this bat today, so I think she's going to act right today.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Yeah.
Let's start the show.
Yeah. Let's get right to it.
Let's jump right on to
Take
it.
into it. So I thought about this. So I saw a post on the Instagram or whatever, and it said that exotic dancers, strippers or whatever in Atlanta is making $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty impressive.
Ooh, let me get this body right. I'm just playing.
So our lab purpose, you laughing, what was the thing? Our lab question, going to be right into it, is imagine we were broke and we'll be evicted unless the mortgage is paid in 3 days. Stripping is our only option. Who would you vote to strip to save the family?
I'm going to go ahead.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Let me finish reading the question. To you, would it be you or your spouse? So who would you select to strip if that was the only option you had, right? So, write it down.
You can't go to McDonald's or Chick-fil-A.
Nah, it's not an option. You're not going to get the check back fast enough. You got to get something that's going to be right there. So write down, so I can make sure you don't cheat and try to change your mind. So write down who you would pick to strip. Got it? Got yours right? Ready? On 3, say the name. 1. So you say either me. So say Mr. or Mrs. All right? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Mr.
Wow. You never know a person until you ask them a question like this. Somebody's looking. So you do that with your spouse or who you with right now too, and ask them, who would you pick if y'all had to strip? Would you sacrifice yourself or would you pick somebody else?
I'm going to pick somebody else.
So go ahead and tell me why you pick me instead of picking yourself.
Because
Lucille, don't do it, Lucille.
The reason I would pick you, because you know, it's just I'm gonna pick you.
No,
My body ain't right. I'm not ready. I'm
this
not ready.
This is a deeper question.
Well, I think the thing about it is because I still have some insecurities about myself, about my body.
So you'd rather put your spouse out there.
Whatever it takes.
This
you better go out there. Work. No.
Wow. You never know anybody. You don't know a person until you ask them a question about what's actually going on with them. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and why would you pick yourself? You pick your own self.
I pick myself because marriage is supposed to be selfless. Wow. That's what I
thought.
No,
he just want to go and make that money. He want to go.
Wow.
I'll be there to support you.
That's what I'm saying.
Every step of the way. I'll be right there. I'll be like, go Jeff. I'll be your backup person.
Wow, I can't believe I don't even know who's sitting right beside me.
I would get some pretend ones to help encourage people.
Wow, some pretend ones. Wow. So I picked myself because I would, as the man, you gotta sacrifice yourself.
And that's the reason why I picked you, because you're the head of the household.
That's not, women want to be selective when it's the head of the household, when it's the time. So I was trying to sacrifice, and I wanted you to say yourself, so that you would sacrifice that, but you didn't. So now I changed my answer. I still say that you still gotta be true whether your person's right or not. So I can't believe you said yourself, yo. This supposed to be you said self in the vows. You remember your vows? You was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and if I have to go and strip, I'm gonna go and strip.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say your vows?
I did not say that. Don't worry about
that. Somebody run the tape. It's a YouTube video written online. Somebody run the tape. Somebody check receipts and see what she said. I got your whole vows on the YouTube. So
No. Anyway, moving right along.
So, all right, before we move forward though, make sure you ask your spouse who you with, which one would they pick? Whose side you're on. And so in the comments, like you said on social media, if you would pick the person, like you would pick the other person, then you're with me. If you pick yourself, you're with me.
Yeah. If you pick the other person, you're with Mrs.
The selfish or selfless. So which one?
Let me tell you something. I am selfless all the days of my life.
No,
so my thing is, that's not true. That is not true. That is not true at all. No, that is not true.
Yeah, you just pick yourself.
But what I'm saying is, you are the head of the household. You're supposed to provide and make a support. You're supposed to support the head of the household. That is biblical. So my thing is, you're supposed to take care. My thing is, I'm still gonna do my role. Now I'm not going to strip. I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or something like that.
By the time you get a Chick-fil-A, it's in 3 days. We got 3 days. 3 days.
Well, you may need to go do this.
Wow.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
No, I have to do what I have to do. It sounds like. Yes. So, okay. You don't know a person. So, please ask your significant other who they would pick, and you can see who you really deal with. If you're not married yet, you dating, it's a good question to ask each other. All right, on the date.
Anyway, moving right along. So, a lot of times since we've been married, today we're discussing about insecurity.
Mask off. Take the mask off.
And one of the things that we've been discussing is since we've been married, what moments have you felt insecure? Jeff, what moments have you felt since we've been married that you felt insecure?
Insecure, and men, like we can get with this part. I think men have insecurities too. I think we don't really talk about them as much. I was insecure when my hair was thinning a little bit, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, who am I? What am I gonna look like after this? But it turned out all right. You didn't say amen to that, but okay, that's why I got Lucille. We don't want no domestic violence episodes, okay? But yeah, so I think then I think that was because I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And so like men, we want to be loved too. I think women, there's a lot of things about women being loved and whatnot too. I think for men, I'm no different than that. Like I want to be loved in that sense. So and we want to be, talk about too. We compliment you guys all the time. We want the compliments as well. So I guess what's the time that you feel like?
I believe after I had the kids was a time when I felt insecure. I mean, because you go from being a certain way of how you perceive yourself, and then after you have kids, you see all.
What type of way you mean? Is specific.
What you mean as far as like before the kids? Like
I'm saying you said some type of way with the kids and something before the kids.
Yeah. Before the kids, of course, that was before, the elasticity of skin was still good.
You gotta be specific on this episode. What you mean?
I'm referencing my stomach.
Oh, okay. That's what I was saying.
Okay. So, but I mean, but not even just my stomach, but even like like when I got pregnant, like my face was enlarged, like it's just my butt got huge. Now I appreciate that, but like my stomach and stuff, I got little tiger stripes, and all of that. I mean,
I like the zoo. I like tiger stripes.
But of course, I wouldn't change anything because my babies are my world. So my thing is, it was worth it. But of course, it has taken me even longer. Malia is 6 and Jason's 5, and I'm still trying to get this right and tight and all of that stuff. So it's just one of those things. So, like, even like when we go to the beach and stuff like that, I put on a one piece or something like that, or something that's going to cover up my stomach. So that's one of the things, and that's just for me. That's one of the things that's that was an insecurity for me. When we talk about physical, if we talk about physical attributes of ourselves, that would be one of the ones for me.
Gotcha. What is the fear behind? I'm thinking about for me, like, what's the fear behind the insecurity? Because it's always like when you got the mask on, right? You want people to see just this, You just want to see the smile. You want your spouse to see, like, hey, there's a level you want to see. I think getting intimate with each other, not the way you were speaking of, but just intimate in terms of, like, this is who I am, this is what it is. What fear did you have? I can ask the same question myself, too. What fear did I have that made that an insecurity?
I don't know, because I wouldn't even say it's people. It wasn't even that. I think it's just the way that I perceive myself. It was just all about self-perception and how, like, I perceive myself. It didn't even have to do with nothing with people or anything like that. It was just the way that how I perceive myself. I knew how I felt before and then versus how I felt afterwards. Now, you know, I'm definitely, like, embracing myself more, embracing my, you know, my body more and all of that stuff. But I'm just talking about, you know, at that time, you know, having you know, after everything that, you know, we had gone through and then finally having a baby, just so many different emotions after having a child that comes along with it. And so body image is one of the things that you go through that you make you feel insecure about yourself.
And
then another thing too, just looking at
worst case scenario thing. That's what I'm thinking about.
And I think, you know, too, and one of the things I had to recognize too is like when, like, you know, we look at people who had these, you know, celebrities and stuff, and they snap back, but then I realized, like, they were, you know, they got a different type of money. Yeah, like J-Lo is fine, okay?
J-Lo 50 years old.
And she is fine, you know, but I also don't have J-Lo money, you know, so it's kind of like one of those things, you know, J-Lo money, but I think so they're able to do, you know, they have trainers and they have chefs and they have all of this stuff, and, you know, I am a working mom with 2 kids, and, you know, you know, so, and I, you know, so it's just different things, so yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay, got you. I think we was, you know, just in terms of fear-wise, even, you know, digging deeper than that is in terms of, like, will your spouse or whoever you with love you the same if they, you know what I'm saying, like, if they saw that, which I know, like, some people will sleep in their wig, you know what I'm saying? Some people sleep in their wig because they're like, I don't want them to see me like that because I don't know what.
Well, no, because I know you'll love me regardless. I know you'll love me regardless. I mean, that wasn't even a part of it either. I think for me, it was more just self-image. But I do agree with you where for some women or men, it may be because of their spouse. They don't want their spouse to see them a certain way. Let me tell y'all something. For me, I take everything off. So
even that rag.
Let
me put Lucia to the camera here. Women, listen up. Don't wear the rag every night.
And we have to protect our hair.
From what? From what I'm thinking about? The pillow monster?
Okay, buy me a silk pillow.
The pillow monster that's, give me your hair.
No, because on cotton, let me tell you, let me educate you.
Okay, please.
Okay, so cotton pillow sheets will break your hair off. Like, it'll break your
cotton does? That's the monster y'all have for a while. I never knew.
For breaking, so you need the silk scarf or even buy me a silk pillow sheet. That's what you wear me for Christmas, a silk pillow sheet, and I'd be good. You know, you make sure it matches.
So what is it supposed? So silk doesn't break your hair?
Because it's just slick.
Why don't you just put like a silk
or a satin?
Why don't you put a silk thing? That's what T.D. Jakes had the song. It was talking about. The silk, the slide in the sheet.
Said she slide.
She slide. So shout out to T.D. Jakes to the Potter's house. He said, I see what you were doing. You try to protect her hair. So women, I can't think of what I was going to say. Women. So listen, don't put that rag on every day. Don't show your hair off to everybody at work. And then your man is only seeing that. I'm not saying just for you. I'm speaking for all men in terms of gym. We want to see what it looks like under that too. We don't want to see your tiger print, your zebra print head rag or whatever. And so, you know what I'm saying? Just be cognizant of that. Men have to be cognizant of things too. We're trying to learn together. We jump to the learn part, but just in terms of just that taking the mask off. We don't want to see the mask all day too.
What a compromise is, you know, when the time is come, you know, being intimate, we'll keep the scarf off, but then after that time is over, then can we wrap our hair back?
That's fine. That's a fair trade-off. All right. But, like, could we say that? What would we say to you? So let's say, for example, right? Let's say.
So we helping the ladies out and the men out. So ladies.
This is real.
So, you know, when it's time to be, you know, when it's that time to be intimate with each other.
What does that mean?
when it's time to be intimate, because it can be different levels.
Yeah, exactly.
Different levels. So it's just not just sex. So when it's time to be intimate with your spouse or whatnot, let's compromise and say we'll have the scarf off. So they could. Is it okay if we kind of pin curl already? You don't want to pin curl, but
right now we're working with nothing. That's what I'm saying. So anything right now is a bargain.
But that's untrue though. When's it
out?
It's not all the time.
When is it up? The time you fall asleep with another thing. That's so it's cool for you to fuck.
So anyway, we're gonna get to the learning part.
Yes,
so the compromise is we will have our scarf off while we, you guys, we agreed upon, for the last 10-15 minutes, I interrupt the time. So that last 10-15 minutes of the day, we'll
Lucille is watching.
No scars, no masks, no eye creams.
I am negan. Oh yeah, exactly. We don't. Let me start there. Y'all. There's a point to do, but we got another episode coming up about being able to speak about some stuff like that. But definitely.
So getting to the learning part, what insecurity do men and women typically have in marriage?
Men, a couple things we got down with job status, like that's huge for men in terms of the label they have. Could the woman make more money than the man? Or, what's the biggest thing there? So job status, sexual dysfunction. I don't know if you've seen commercials all the time for Viagra and everything else. Sexual dysfunction is a thing. If not, they wouldn't be making all these advertisements and whatnot too. So, being able to, hey, could your man really talk to you about that? Could he talk to you about that there? Respect, RESPECT, find out what it means to him. I'm telling you right now, in couples class last week, was a couple class, they were talking about respect is one of the number one things for men. You could walk by butt naked in front of him, but if that man doesn't feel like you respect him, it does absolutely nothing for him. So that insecurity about, does she respect me? He may not say nothing to you, but he'll act out in terms of those things. So you see a lot of different actions because there is a feeling of there's disrespect from that woman. And so if there's not respect, you'll see him act out sometimes instead of being able to speak about that. So respect, anger, never put your hand on the woman, fellas. Never put your hand on the woman. I know sometimes they can rile us up a little bit. I know you got Lucille right here. Lucille's just for the show, not for hidden and whatever that. But anger, right? Being able to deal with that, that's an action of insecurity that I have. I may not feel sufficient as a man. I had expectations for myself at this age, and it's not happening. How do I act and be able to communicate with that? Are you his peace, or does he need a peace when he's around you? And so, being able to say, not just the woman fault, but fellas, we have to deal with the anger. Talk about that anger too. So that's insecurity. And trust issues. Being able to trust men. Most men had a trust issue probably in middle school where a girl did something to us, and most of us have never got over that now. They take it as adulthood, and we dogging women out doing those different things because we never got over that. So dealing with those trust issues, fellas, put the mask back up one time. You watching the video, listen on y'all, put the mask back to my face, and take the mask off. Take the mask off the insecurity that you had. So one or more of those things may have spoken. There's plenty more, insecurity. These are some of the main ones in terms of finances, sexual dysfunction, trust issues, respect for myself. Being able to communicate that. If I can't push that out to somebody, then you see a lot of the fights. You see a lot of the, who is that? Who you talking to? Like that. And so there's a lot of issues and whatnot too. So women, you do play a role in those things, but just be cognizant of hey, is that something that he has an insecurity about? Let me bring it up in a safe space to kind of talk to him about it. Got it? So me. Right. Women, what y'all got?
Women.
I know y'all got 2 or 3.
First of all, don't look. Anyway, okay. So women. So insecurities for women. I think the first one would probably be respect. I think respect is also for women as well. A lot of times I feel like men, you guys try to overtalk us, overpower us, and that sort of thing, and so that could be a form of disrespectful. I think another thing too that women, as we struggle with, is the balance of being a career working mom, wife, trying to be involved, volunteer, all of those things. So I believe that those type of things can cause insecurity as well, because you feel like, I was just sharing this with somebody yesterday, you feel like you stretch so thin, like you have to be a wife You have to be a mother. You have to be, a career person. You're trying to be a good sister, friend. You're trying to be a good daughter. You're trying to be a good sister. You're trying to be all these things to so many people. And so we typically forget about self. And so I believe a lot of times that causes a lot of insecurity, because it's like, man, like, and then especially when you feel like you're doing the best that you can, and then people are steady complaining about what you're doing, it's kind of like, man, like, I'm doing the best that I can. Like, I'm trying to be the best wife. I'm trying to be, I'm trying to bring my best self to the table. And when you feel like your best self is still not good enough, you're like, dang, like, what am I doing wrong? So I think those
question if I could, because I think many people do the same thing, right? So many women or men are doing the best they can, and if their spouse or who they're with has of saying, hey, this could be better if blank, how do you take that? Because it sounds like you're saying, hey, this is the best I'm gonna do, take it or leave it, like in that sense. And so if somebody takes that stance, is that a positive way to...
No, I don't believe it's take it or leave it. I believe you just have to, at the end of the day, something's going to cost. And I think that's what we have to realize. I have realized, I was laughing with Tracy. Shout out to Tracy. But she was laughing. She was like, we're taking off our superwoman capes. We're taking it off. Because I think a lot of times as women, we have been taught that we have to be strong for so many people, and we have to wear these capes. And a lot of times it's unrealistic expectations. Like, there's no way we'll be able to be all things to all people. We could try our best, but the thing about it is, at the end of the day, something's going to cost. And so that's the reason why when we had our conversation yesterday, I was stating at the end of the day, something is going to have to change. So you're going to have to give up something. Or
you have a preface to the conversation. You're saying you're saying the conversation. They don't know what the conversation is.
Okay, well, Jeff and I had a disagreement yesterday. Because on that set, so I'm about to head out, going on a mission trip. So y'all be praying for me. I'm going to Ghana.
Like 2 weeks.
Okay, but keep it in mind, Jeffrey goes once a week. Hold on. Let me finish. And that's another thing too. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times we've been discussing this. Spouse, you have to listen. I think a lot of times we try to overtalk our spouse, and it makes you feel like your voice is not being heard.
That's fair.
And so we have to listen. So backing up, so keep in mind, Jeff goes out of town once a month for a week. It's never an issue. And so the thing about it is, we've been knowing pretty much half the year that this mission trip was taking place. And so anyway, it's been busy. Business has been good. So I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And, it's been busy with work. It's been busy with the kids. It's been all these things. So what's been happening is I've been trying my best, bringing my best up to the table, asking Jeff, hey, like, you want to go to the gala with me? We had a good time at the gala this past Saturday night, and then, like, still trying to make sure I bring my best self to the kids. Hey, you guys, I know I won't be here for Halloween. I took them to the fall festival. We did breakfast together on Sunday morning. I let them sleep in, just doing different things. I invited Jeff to go to dinner with us. We all went to dinner together. So still trying to spend as much quality time with each other, okay? So anyway, Sunday night, we get in at home. And so the kids know I'm leaving. So they are very clingy. They're very clingy. Malia's already an affectionate child as it is. She get that from her dad. So she's already an affectionate child. So she is like this in the bed with me. So anyway, it's 8 o'clock. The kids know typically their bedtime is around 9. Jeff did not communicate to me, hey, let's put the kids to bed early. He just came in the room and just started fussing. He was like, Malia, it's time to go to bed, da-da-da. And Malia...
Objection.
Okay. Malia is the type of person, which I'm grateful for this. She is a type of person. She's more like her dad. She asked questions. She was like, "But it's only 8 o'clock. I'm not understanding." And so he started, and I'm the type of person I want my children to have in a respectful way to be able to ask questions. I feel like a lot of times we tell kids, "No, don't ask questions," but I think that leads to other things. As you grow into adulthood, you have to. She's inquisitive, and I and I love that about her, and she's always respectful with it. Anyway, so make the long story short, Joe got upset with me, but he did not communicate what his needs were. He wanted to spend time with us just together, and spend more time with just us together. And my thing was to him was just communicate it. And, so right now, we're still some tension, but,
so hold on. Yes. You made a long story long. Okay. I'll make it short on this side. So to get to that point, what you're saying is the fact of, sometimes as a man, and maybe for women too, we want to say, hey, and it's not about keeping score about that, but it's about saying, hey, we want that person to initiate some of those things as well. So let me finish. I know you about to. You did. About you. I thought I felt your energy to do. Mm-hmm. You're right. So I think at that point in time, I wanted you to say, hey, this is something I want to do as well. And so with anything, if you feel like you're the person that is initiating those things more often than not, like sometimes it's not to say like, because people will do more things than other person, just the way the makeup is set up. But I think for me at that time, I wanted an equal thirst about that situation. And so the thing was not Malia saying something, it was you saying, well, it's just ate something right now. What are you doing at that point in time? That's what got me a little riled up, saying, hey, like, I wasn't asking you to do that. That was the piece for mine. So this is the real, bringing y'all into real conversation. Yes, just hold on, let me finish it. Okay. You can get into it. But that was the point about that. So yes, I agree with that. So being able to reflect and say, hey, yes, I should have communicated, saying, hey, I would like to spend that. That is what should have happened. Afterwards, she gets upset at me because I did not communicate that. And so now she gives the silent treatment. And women, y'all know how y'all do with the silent treatment thing of just saying, hey, that's the whole point. And so coming up soon, we're going to talk about who should apologize first if there's wrong on both ends in the situation of that. And so I guess I just wanted my thing of, let me take the mask off for myself, of saying you're correct there about that. I just wanted to say, hey, if you're leaving, to say, hey, I desire to spend time with you tonight with the kids put in the bed. That's what I wanted. I should have communicated this. So
right. It should have been communicated. And then two, like I share, I think another thing too, I think what we're so easy to get into is keep inside of who initiate what. My thing is, this is the thing. This is my mindset right now. With everything, for me, you have to be a lead in so many different areas of the life, of my life. I can only speak for me. In my life, I feel like I have to be the lead in so many different areas. So for this particular area of my life with my husband, I want my husband to be the lead. Because that means I just want him to, because I think another thing too is, and this is, guys, this is real, is like, when the last time you just asked me out on a date, or, just say, hey, I just want to spend time with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think another thing too is being self-reflective and like, hey, a reality check. Like, I think sometimes we, in our mind, we feel like we're doing certain things, but in actuality, we're really not. So, but I know we need to move on because we only got like 4 minutes.
But hold on 1 second. Just to say a point on that side is to say that.
See, he always has to feel like he has to have the last word.
No, it's not the last word. I'm just saying. I think, well, that would be the same thing for both sides. I think it's easy to see our own side. I think that the push is for both of us is to put ourselves in that person's shoes, because I could justify anything that I do or say because it's going to be right for me because it fits me. I think for both of us is to reflect and say, hey, oh yes, this is the reason why they're wrong, is to say, hey, let me hear where their heart is and not the action piece of it. So I think the push for us, I think, moving forward of this is to say, hey, right, they're saying this, let me see what part to it, like, instead of justifying why that is not the correct thing, or bringing up something that's...
But I did ask you out and that sort of thing. Like, I was trying so again, that's the reason why I said women as it's an insecurity, because I feel like that we bring our best self. I feel like I bring my best self to the table, trying to make sure I spend time with everybody, all of that stuff. And again, I felt like it was not good enough. So that's just me. But we have to move on. We have to move on. We have to move on.
Yes,
So anyway, let's see. So another thing too that for women that could be insecurity is just trust, weight loss. For some women, it may be their hair. For some people, women, it may feel like insecure on their job, that sort of thing. But insecurity in marriage, how to fix it. It is an article.
Yep, it is insecurity in marriage and how to fix it. You can also use it in a relationship too. If you're not married or you're single, you can start to prepare with those things. As you can see, it's a real topic that can cause tension if you're not dealing with those things. And so it's by it's Living the Sweet Wife. So fellas, still has some things for men in there too. Who's the author of that real quick? You see it?
No, it's not author. It's not author.
Yeah, I think it's a thing.
But anyway, it says go ahead.
The main point here was about unconditional love. Like, what about unconditional love? And so I think in the situation we're talking about right now, attention there is unconditional love. I think most of the love we have is based on conditions. I married you because of the conditions that you have, and like you said yes, probably because of, hey, like fitting those things. So moving from a conditional space to unconditional space, like unconditional love, is a key. We're 13 years of game, 13 years married, and it still takes something to do.
It takes work.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna tell anybody marriage is not easy by no means. It takes work, and what you put in is definitely what you get out. And sometimes I feel like, again, that's the reason I say we shouldn't keep score. Don't keep score in your marriage, because I feel like when you start keeping score, you will feel inadequate when you start keeping score. I feel like sometimes in marriages, somebody's gonna be giving 150%, and somebody may give 80. So I feel like everyone should always strive to give over 100%. But reality is sets in, like that spouse may be stressed or whatever the situation may be. So it's up to versus, this is what I'm encouraging people today. Don't give up on your spouse if you feel like that they're only giving 80. Evaluate, go to them, talk to them, see what's going on, and pick up the slack. This is a team effort. Like, it's truly a team effort. And so I plead with people, I even plead with us, like, when you feel like your spouse is not giving their all, or if you feel like that they're stretched and they're stretched thin or whatever, please, like, don't take it personal. Just don't take it personal. Just give your all. Help, make up there. If they're giving 80, make up that 20. So that means you may need to give 120. You're in it together. And so please, I appeal to you, don't keep score.
Yep, and it's so easy to leave out, with that too. So you'd be like, hey, like, this is not what I expected. Like, in the situation we're going through now, I'm supposed to be like, nah. So I think, like, the work part is continue to push through when it doesn't feel good, when you're not talking to each other, like being able to push through. So don't do this. So this is one thing you're saying. It's so popular these days to have a my way or the highway, take it or leave it attitude in relationships. Yeah, I'm talking to you, strong women, strong men too as well, I put in there. On this, they searched some strong women quotes. It says, a strong man can handle a strong woman. A weak man will say she has an attitude. Another one that says, a strong woman will automatically stop trying if she feels unwanted. She won't fix it or beg. She'll just walk away. I think those are some of the attitudes for men or women, just in terms of, hey, this is the way I expect. These are my expectations. It's not going this way. I expect before she gets ready to go, I should be number one in the situation. And if I don't feel that way, what do you do? So typically when you have expectations for your spouse or who you're with, and it doesn't play out the way you go, how do you do? Do you do the silent treatment? Do you go back and forth? Like, do you have to say, hey, I'm not going to talk to them until this. My stance last night was like, hey, like, she needs to apologize. I think you need to apologize in this sense. And so it's like, but like, what happens after that? Do you let that fester and foster in? Which I think in many relationships we do. We let that fester and foster in to where the enemy can take a stronghold in what you're doing. So like, if you mad at each other, look at so man, show me your face you've had over the last 24 hours. Let me see your face you've had.
I haven't had, honestly, I've been good. Like, right now I'm in the mindset of peace. I just want peace. But it says, do this. Know and understand that both we and our spouse are incapable of unconditional and selfless love on our own.
Yes,
know and understand that both we and our spouses are incapable of unconditional and selfless love on our own. Yes, have standards for your spouse, but know that he or she is human. When he messes up or she messes up and doesn't love you like he should, remember Christ He loved us enough to die for us, knowing just how imperfect and unlovable we were going to be. Jesus set the example of what a perfect and complete love is willing to do. So when we feel our spouse is being unlovable, remember what Christ did for him, what he did for you, and let that inspire you and give you strength and confidence in how much you are so loved by Christ, and how you can go on to love your husband or wife even when he doesn't or she doesn't deserve it. We can't allow Christ to fill in those imperfect gaps. Remember his example of how he loved and died for us. If you all allow yourself to know that Christ can make up your imperfections and that you are fully and always loved by him, no matter what your spouse does, it would give you the strength you need to feel secure and love your spouse no matter what. Now that's how you become a strong woman or man.
Yeah, that's for that. And that's the work part about it. That's the work part about it. Because you may be saying, I do that, but my spouse doesn't do that. And so, or you may be saying, hey, like you may be reflecting now, like, that's not me. That's not me. That was a verse right there. Luke 6:37 says, do not judge and you will not be judged. Do not condemn and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. I think we want to be forgiven. We want the grace, but we don't obviously give it. Or we may give it 2 times. You're like, I ain't finna be no fool. I ain't finna be walked over. I know that's my style. Like, man, come on. You got to step up in this thing. And
but so, you can't keep score, guys. You can't keep score.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. But like,
you have to truly remove self. And I think a lot of times I feel like we compare ourselves to our spouse. And we may say, well, you know what? She did that or he did that, but I ain't nearly that. But when we compare ourselves into the love of Christ, man, hands down, he's going to win every time. So I think that's the thing, is make sure we compare ourselves to Christ. And when we compare ourselves to Christ versus our spouse, then it makes a world of a difference.
So making it personal for us then, right? Because I think we went to, y'all seen full circle what this is. Hopefully y'all can go full circle of an issue you have. Instead of, because it's so easy for me to say what you're not doing and in reverse whatever.
You have to go back to say.
Now, let's say for us though, what are you willing to commit to say, hey, I heard what you're saying. This is something that I'm willing to commit to do personally for yourself. And not just
Jeffrey, I commit to before I leave that you and I will get one-on-one time.
Okay. Cool. All right. See how you do this? All right.
Although I did it, but yeah.
See that? That's what there you go.
I'm just kidding.
No, she's not kidding. She's not kidding. You gotta restate that again. You see how you know what I'm saying with the thing? I'm gonna give the grace that I want God to give me. I'm gonna give the grace that I want God to give me. So I'm gonna let you I'm gonna give you a
I'm committed to spend one-on-one time with you before I leave.
Oh, thank you.
It's on my schedule to commit one-on-one time before I leave.
Oh, thank you for making it a priority. That's an insecurity of mine. Thank you for making it a priority.
You're welcome. And Jeffrey?
I am committing to. Hold on. I'm trying to get the thing back up. Okay, I am committing to. What am I committing to? That you were saying? As a couple of things you were saying, I'm committing to voicing what I feel.
What your expectations?
Yeah, what my expectations are, and so not hoping that you would see those things, but being able to verbal up. I wouldn't say read my mind, but I was saying, but yeah, that's cool. I think that's fair. Okay. So I will voice those things. I will communicate those before anything to them.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
How does it make you feel?
I feel great. I feel better. Okay. So let's see. Love. Today is your homework for today. Tell your mate 3 of your insecurities.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we shared ours, so that's time for you guys to share
yours.
Real
out here.
Ask them what is the best way to communicate your insecurities to your mate. Take a walk, write them down, and have them read them before coming together. I would say this. A lot of times, I know I'm a person that has to write my stuff down a lot. So, because, if you start talking, emotions get in, all of that stuff. So it's okay to write them down, and then even if you want to write it in a form of a love letter or whatever you want to do, whatever it takes, but, write down your 3
I can talk mine out, but
and send it over to them. Yeah. And so and then also just love work, model this discussion. As you guys see, we have played this it has come full circle. And so yes.
I almost swung this, but the Lord is working with me.
So yes. But anyway, Jeff, is there anything else? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yes. Mr. Mr. MISTR, Mr. and Mrs. Mr. and the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. podcast on Facebook. We on YouTube, all the podcast platforms. We now on iHeartRadio. So listen on Apple. Hey, appreciate Google Podcasts everywhere. So hey, tell another human about the podcast.
Yes.
One way to keep the families together. We're trying to keep families together. Our family together, because I know we could have separated 87 times. We'll tell y'all more about some of those things later. But right now, like, it takes work to say, what you laugh? You think that's...
So anyway, and next week we're going to be discussing about getting naked emotionally and physically. Or no, you said you wanted to change it to who's supposed to apologize first.
Yes, because I think it's real pertinent for us. And that's what we're talking. I'm not going to get it because I was finna point the finger so on women. I would say women. But yeah, if both parties are wrong, who's supposed to apologize first?
Yes. Yes. So look at your spouse and say,
look at him and say,
I like you, I love you, and I want you. All right.
My first kiss a long time, right? I'm real. I don't listen. You can judge me.
Anyway,
judge your mama.
Until next time, laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love. Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show.
Laugh, learn, love.
Take your mask off.
Laugh, learn, love.
Take your mask
laugh,
off.
Learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Yeah. I am Megan.